The ASUS Zenbook A14 represents a significant departure from its Intel-powered predecessors by adopting Qualcomm Snapdragon X system-on-chip society, built on ARM architecture, weighing in at just 980 grams and boasting up to 18 hours of battery life. This ultra-portable machine aims to deliver a blend of mobility, endurance, and sufficient performance for everyday productivity. Below is a hands-on evaluation based on design, display quality, connectivity, real-world performance, and battery life. Right out of the box, the Zenbook A14 impresses with a matte, Zabriskie beige finish that feels both premium and modern. ASUS has replaced the typical ASUS or a logo on the lid with a laser-etched ASUS Zenbook badge, hinting at a unified design language across its 2025 lineup. The lid is constructed from Seyyah aluminum, a ceramic-infused aluminum alloy, combining high durability and low weight. The remainder of the chassis is machined from a single block of aluminum, lending structural rigidity without penalizing portability. At 980 grams, it ranks among the lightest Windows laptops available, making it ideal for students and professionals who carry their machine throughout the day. Despite its thin profile, the A14 features a full-size keyboard with wool-spaced island keys, decent 1.4 key travel, and satisfying tactile feedback. A 2-level white backlight ensures typing remains comfortable in dim environments. The precision glass trackpad measures roughly 120 x 80 mm, supports multi-touch gestures, and feels exceptionally smooth under the fingertips. The hinge allows the screen to tilt safely to about 135, maintaining stable typing angles. The 14.0-inch WUXGA 1920x1200 OLED panel, with a 16:10 aspect ratio, delivers vivid colors and deep blacks thanks to its 1:0:0:0:1 contrast ratio. With 100% DCI-P3 coverage and support for 1.07 billion colors, it reproduces images faithfully, making it suitable for content creators or anyone who cares about color accuracy. The 0.2 milliseconds response time eliminates motion blur in everyday tasks. Although the 60 Hz refresh rate may not appeal to gamers, peak brightness of 600 nits in HDR mode and a standard 400 nits in SDR guarantee good visibility even under brighter lighting. Slim bezels push the screen-to-body ratio to 90%, offering an almost borderless viewing experience. Remarkably, ASUS managed to include a balanced selection of ports on such a thin machine. On the left edge sits a USB, a Gen 2 port, useful for legacy peripherals like wired mice or flash drives. The right edge houses two USB 4.0 Gen 3 Type-C ports, which support DisplayPort output, USB power delivery charging, and up to 40 gigabits per second data transfer. There's also a full-size HDMI 2.1 port and a 3.5 mm audio jack for headphones. The absence of a second USB-A port may prompt some users to carry a small USB hub, especially if they rely on multiple USB-A-based devices. At the heart of this machine is a Snapdragon X society featuring 8 CPU cores, up to 3.0 GHz, paired with 16 GB of onboard LPDDR5 RAM, non-upgradable, and a 512 GB PCIe 4.0 NVMe SSD. In synthetic benchmarks, the Zenbook A14 scored 930 points single-core and 4,662 points multi-core in Cinebench R23, rivaling many Intel Core i5 and AMD Ryzen 7 processors in typical office and light creative tasks. On Geekbench 6, it achieved 2,105 points single-core and 10,145 points multi-core, demonstrating that modern ARM-optimized applications can run smoothly. The integrated Adreno GPU also surprised for a thin and light device. 3D Mark Night Raid yielded 15,875 points, and Geekbench 6 Compute recorded 9,605 points. In Puget bench tests for Adobe applications, the A14 scored 1,049 points in Premiere Pro and 576 points in Photoshop, adequate for creators handling basic video edits and graphic design, though not recommended for heavy rendering workloads. The PCIe 4.0 SSD further enhances responsiveness. Crystal Disk Mark reported up to 6,666 MBs sequential reads and 3,638 MBs sequential writes, while 4K video write speeds reached 165.8 MBs. Consequently, boot times, app launches, file transfers, and multitasking feel instantaneous, which benefits students and content creators juggling multiple documents and browser tabs. In daily office scenarios, web browsing, document editing, video conferencing, the Zenbook A14 ARM-based Snapdragon X delivers consistently smooth performance, and Windows 11 on ARM appears well optimized for most mainstream applications. Battery-draining browser tabs and streaming video rarely hiccup. However, gaming remains a weak point. Titles that do support ARM, such as Shadow of the Tomb Raider, ran at only 16 FPS on low settings at 1080p. Genshin Impact fared even worse, dropping to single-digit FPS during combat. Clearly, the Zenbook A14 is not geared toward gamers. Its strength lies in productivity and media consumption rather than 3D gaming. One of the biggest selling points is battery endurance. Equipped with a 70 watt-hours battery, the Zenbook A14 managed 1,084 minutes over 18 hours of light office use, web surfing, document editing, and video playback, before needing a recharge. This longevity is made possible by the efficiency of ARM cores and the OLED panel power-saving features. The included 65W USB-C charger, supporting USB power delivery, refuels the laptop quickly and can be used for other USB-C devices, enhancing portability for frequent travelers. The ASUS Zenbook A14 breaks new ground for ultraportables by pairing Qualcomm Snapdragon X ARM chipset with a stunning 14-inch OLED screen, robust battery life, and a sub-1 kg chassis, while its Apple-like battery endurance and snappy SSD make it ideal for productivity on the go. Limitations appear when tackling ARM-incompatible software or 3D gaming. For users who prioritize portability, display quality, and all-day battery life over raw Intel-class performance or gaming, the Zenbook A14 offers a compelling alternative in 2025 crowded laptop market. With 16 GB RAM soldered onboard and a 512 GB PCIe 4.0 SSD, this machine handles most student and creative workflows with aplomb, making it a strong contender for anyone looking to break up with x86 in favor of ARM efficiency.